So it's not just about if you're coping today. It's about your health 20 years from now, how much you sleep now.
Long
so it
term.
Is important. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So how can we actually sleep better? How can we do this thing better? Help us.
And welcome to Questions and Answers with Dr. Daniela Steyn. Andrea,
Yay,
thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Let's talk about sleep. You know what? People often say to me, like, men only need 5 hours sleep over 40 or whatever. I don't know. I need my sleep. I need to be in bed by 10:30 if I'm lucky. And I need a full night's sleep. Otherwise, I'm grumpy. How much sleep do you need?
It's so good, and it's so good that you know that you need to be in bed, otherwise you're grumpy. I grew up the same. My parents said, oh, we don't need as much sleep. Both of them, they have this incredible work ethic, but they always said, no, they don't need, genetically, they don't need as much sleep, which is not true. So the fact that you know you need to be in bed means you're listening to your body. So you've evolved. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm lovely. No.
But that is what I would encourage all our viewers to do, is to really to listen to your body, because we often ignore things that we need to sleep, and we know you're a bit tired the next day, but then typically you'll have more coffee and eat sugar and you won't sleep. So we do need 8 hours of sleep. Our children needs even more sleep, and for different people it's different, but our bodies really, that's our time to recover, for every cell to recuperate, to recover. While we sleep, our lymphatic system is active. So it's like lymphatic, but with a G in front of it, our lymphatic system. So the whole time, that system is, while you're eating, busy trying to get toxins from your food. And then when you're sleeping, that system has time to go through your brain and through your whole body, get cancer cells away, and also help prevent dementia. So people who don't have adequate sleep throughout their lifetime would have a higher risk of developing illnesses. So it's not just about if you're coping today. It's about your health 20 years from now, how much you sleep now.
Long
so it
term.
Is important. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So how can we actually sleep better? How can we do this thing better? Help us.
Biggest thing when I came to Canada was I moved to Alberta, and it was so beautiful over the summer. The sun will get up 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and 11 at night it will still be light out.
Whoa, that's tough.
And summer is so short, so you want to be out, you want to enjoy, you want to sit on the deck, you want to enjoy summer.
Sure.
And that really caused me to go through a very sleep deprived year, that first year.
Wow.
So to recognize that you're not in South Africa, you can't wait for it to be dark before you have dinner. You have to have dinner earlier. You have to set a routine. And there's a couple of ways that you can set your routine. One big thing is to have blackout blinds.
Oh, yes.
With blackout curtains. And then so that your body gets adjusted to the light. So with that light, to really set your routine in such a way that you don't see any light the 2 hours before going to bed. And that also means not to be on your cell phone. Because on your cell phone you get these blue lights which keeps your brain active.
Wow.
So if you really need to work on your computer, you can have wear blue light blocking glasses.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Yes, they're quite helpful. So ideal in an ideal world, not to be just to be reading books, not to be on your screens for 2 hours. That's your first choice. But if it's not reality, you've got a lot of work to do. You've got to be on your computer. The next step is blackout blue blockers.
Yes.
Watching a TV from afar is actually not as harmful as being on your cell phone.
Wow.
So for sleep hygiene, that's a big thing, not to bring your cell phone with you to the bedroom, but to leave it
Should we
outside.
just stop right there? Like, how many people are just like, oh, I'm this is for my husband, joking. This is for you. This is for your partner. This is for everybody, right? Like, it's sometimes like we think it's a way to relax, but actually you're getting this light. Is that also linked to melatonin? Like, because I know, like if I battle to sleep, like if I'm jet lagged and I'm flying all over the place, I take melatonin. But they say the minute the light starts to go, you take melatonin tablets. So that's probably what's happening to your body.
Yes. So your body secretes melatonin naturally.
Okay.
All of us have melatonin in our bodies. When the sun goes down, your body starts to secrete melatonin, and then it's easier for you to go to bed 2 hours later when your melatonin levels are optimally. But when you see a bright light, or when you're looking at your cell phone light, your body thinks, oh no, the sun is still shining, it's still day. Then your body doesn't secrete that melatonin.
Amazing.
So melatonin is not a sleeping tablet. It's not something that you're going to take if you quickly want a nap in the morning. because it really resets your whole hormonal cycle. It influences your hormonal cycle.
Wow.
So you'll only take it at bedtime. We can buy it over the counter here.
I know.
In South Africa, it's regulated. So in South Africa, you need to talk to a pharmacist or your doctor to get it. But in Canada, you can get it over the counter.
No, I know.
They even have it in gummies for kids.
Yes.
I don't recommend that you just give it to your kids. I really recommend that you talk to your doctor about it, because it is a hormone, right? And we want to be careful by just with what we put in our bodies.
Yes.
But with jet lag, it's great. So it helps your body to know that you're now on this new time zone.
Yes.
If you take it when it's your body's natural time to go to bed for 2 or 3 days to help you adjust.
Yeah.
On that topic, a big thing that a lot of people have found that when I teach people to sleep better, one of the things is to have your regular schedule on weekends as well. Because if on weekends you stay up till late at night, because now you can binge watch Netflix and you can hang out and you can sleep late in the morning, then your body goes through a little bit of jet lag. Every weekend. So to have jet lag every weekend is hard on your body. It's hard to get back in that routine. It's hard to get good quality sleep. Then you say, oh, but I'm lying in bed for hours, I can't fall asleep. But then Saturday and Sunday, you told your body to stay awake till 1 o'clock in the morning. And now suddenly you're telling your body it's 10 o'clock, go to bed. And your body's like, what is happening?
That is such a good point. Oh,
and then also not to sleep in on Saturday and Sunday mornings. If you have to for work get up 6 o'clock every morning, then on weekends you ideally, even if you sleep a bit later, should only sleep till 7 and get up. Yeah.
Makes complete sense. Yeah. Okay, so also I've heard a lot of, I always say this, I'm like say to my husband and my kids, like, you guys need to get out there and go exercise because you'll sleep better. You know, there's that whole myth or that lovely kids book about how this guy never slept, and then they like make this guy like farm and run and do all this stuff. Eventually the person sleeps. Is it true? Yeah.
Completely true. And there are so many different reasons why it's true. So one of the things is, if I work with someone who says, I can't sleep, I haven't slept for so many years, and they don't even want to talk about sleep, I first just say, first thing in the morning, when you wake up, go outside for a walk. So we don't address the sleep yet. We first just reset your biological clock by going out and seeing sun. If you're in Vancouver somewhere where it's overcast all day, then you can get yourself a nice sunlight that you turn on first thing in the morning, and you tell your body it's light.
That's
cool. Then at lunchtime again, if you have sun outside, definitely go for a walk outside. If you don't have, you can turn that light on for 20 minutes over lunchtime again to help your body with its natural rhythm. So that is important to get out, and it's important for different reasons. The one is to set your biological clock, to go out for that walk, morning, lunch. And then even after dinner to go out for a walk, because then your body can see that now, you know, in the morning the light was coming up. It's now at lunchtime walk, it's bright. And at dinner, after dinner, it's coming down. Go out for the walks. Next reason why walking is good is during the day when things happen, even when we're talking, our body secretes a little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of cortisol. It helps us to be here, to be focused. But it also leaves our bodies a little bit wired. And then when you go for that walk, your body uses up all the adrenaline, all the cortisol that it secreted during the day. And then when it's used up, it's easier to fall asleep at night.
That's true. And you know, the other thing that I find, sometimes if you tend to, especially in summer, because it's light later, you eat a bit later.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I can't sleep with a full tummy. And that walk at night is a game changer. It kind of like settles my stomach, like I might have overdone it with another pudding or whatever, but it definitely, the walk, I don't know, for me it's not about HIIT classes and heavy exercise, it's just a walk, right?
And we do it with our children every night after dinner. All of us go for a walk every night.
The other question, because I think everybody thinks about it, how long should it take for you to fall asleep?
That's a big one. It should not be taking hours. If you're lying in your bed and it's taking you hours to fall asleep, get out and do something else. Go and sit on a couch and read a boring book. And really, and we especially teach that to teenagers. And you have teenagers, right?
Yes, I do.
And for teenagers, it's hard because their room is their sanctuary. That's where they're alone. So they spend a lot of time in their rooms.
Yeah.
They're in their rooms doing their homework, hanging out with their friends. So they're on their bed all the time. And now suddenly they must sleep on the bed, but they've started associating this bed with studying for the exams and hanging out with their friends.
True.
So it's so hard for your brain now to know that you have to sleep. So what we do when we work with teenagers is really, and I have a podcast with a teenager sleep expert. I really encourage you, if you have teenagers, to listen to that podcast. It's here on YouTube as well. We can put the link, by Dr. Kira Uy. She's like the best sleep expert here in Toronto, where she talks about create a sanctuary for your teenagers in their room where they can do everything not on their bed. And so obviously you need their buy-in.
Yes.
But to explain that your bed is just going to be for sleep. When you hang out with your friends, you're going to do it in this corner. This is your wellness corner. This is your friend's corner, your homework corner. Everything else you're going to do in this corner, which is a fun corner where you want to be, but it's not your bed. Your bed you kind of reserve for sleeping.
Very cool.
Getting back to your question, how long should it take to fall asleep?
I love that.
Ideally, not more than 20 minutes. If you are taking more than 20 minutes, you must really think why. Go through a couple of steps. Your body needs a bedtime routine. The same way I have little kids, the same way that I have a bedtime routine for my little kids, your body needs that. You need that bath to help your muscles relax with Epsom salts. That's magnesium. Yes, to help your muscles relax. You need magnesium supplement by mouth, but then also the Epsom salt is a magnesium salt that you can bath in with some essential oil, some lavender oil, to have a dark the 2 hours before bedtime, that your body is now switching off from the work that it's been doing. It's now starting to focus on the sleep, on the bedtime routine, to read something, to read a book, to journal. Journal is helpful for many different things, but the one thing is to really process what happened during your day. Because what happens to a lot of my clients would say, oh, but I can't sleep, but they never had an opportunity to process their day. So of course your brain has to process now at night.
Yes,
because
makes sense.
When is it going to process?
Yeah.
So it's important before you go to bed to journal, to process your day. What did you enjoy? What was horrible? To really work through your day. That's very helpful. And then the next thing is to meditate. Meditation looks different to different people. And then I have a YouTube video on meditating from a non-religious perspective on my YouTube that you can have a look at. I have a blog on Wellness MD Health that you can look at meditation. But what meditation does in essence is it helps your body, your brain to stop running around and to just focus on one thing and to prepare for sleep.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's amazing. And I think you're right. Like meditation is different to everybody else. For some people, even just that one walk that they do at night or in the morning, they combine that with their meditation. It's just like literally doing that beautiful deep breathing, hitting that vagus nerve, doing all that stuff, the deep breathing, right? And looking at green stuff, natural, like being out there and just, all those things that we talk about, being grateful and all these wonderful things. Meditation is amazing and very powerful.
Oh, for sure.
So that's great. I don't know. Sometimes it's like 7 minutes and I'm sleeping, I think. But there are times, when you're super stressed or when your mind is so active, I don't think you can run, especially if you have a very high-powered job and you've got so much on your plate. You like kind of run your day all the way to here, and I'm in bed and now I must sleep. Yeah. And we expect our bodies to just
do that.
And you're right. I love the thing about the routine. Yeah. I remember with my kids, I'd be like, it is 6 o'clock. Close the curtains. It's night time. Mama needs to chill. And so we have to do the same thing. Treat ourselves like a baby.
And then when you have something like rooibos tea or chamomile tea that you drink at bedtime, a herbal non-caffeine tea, you're now also teaching your body that you're having this an hour before bedtime.
Beautiful.
And things are becoming, and to be intentional about what you're doing. This is maybe not the time to catch up with your mom on the phone if that is going to cause some stress and anxiety.
Wow. Yes.
And to be intentional and to journal, because often people come and say they never sleep. Then I say, okay, but let's just journal. Let's look at when you never sleep. And people can then often trace back, I don't sleep Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, but Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days that I go into the office. Those are the days that I drink multiple coffees during the day. Yes. So that is a big one. So just to be intentional, to realize, okay, for you to sleep well, you should not have any caffeine afternoon.
Yeah.
You should be aware, be conscious. For some people, even having sweet things. So I'm guilty of that. When I get tired at night and I have things to do, I'll eat lots of sweet things because it gives me energy to still work. but then that sweet is still in my body when I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
So most of us don't sleep well with sweet things. So to avoid sugar as well, a couple of hours before bedtime.
Yeah, amazing. Do we want to talk about supplements? What about supplements?
Yes, supplements are a big one. So first I said to sleep naturally, not to take any supplements. If you've got to take something, melatonin is very helpful, which you can buy over the counter. Magnesium, and specifically look at magnesium bisglycinate. If you take a different type of magnesium, it might become, if you take too much, it might have a laxative effect. So magnesium bisglycinate is a very good one.
I use that. I love it.
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing. Muscles, relax.
Yes.
It's just so good.
Yes.
Great.
So those are the biggest one for sleep.
All right, fantastic. And then we spoke about teenagers and how they struggle. So we've got to get onto that podcast.
Yes.
I'm very interested in that, actually.
You should listen to it. That woman is phenomenal. It is specifically regarding teenagers have a different biological clock. And every year we talk about the teenagers, their school should really be starting later.
Yes.
Because their biological clock is more to sleep from 3 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock. But they also need sleep. They also need their 8 hours. Some of them need up to 10 hours, but they need at least those 8 hours sleep. And what often happens with our kids' activities is on weekends when most teenagers just crash and catch up on their sleep, even though it has that jet lag effect. They need it. But a lot of my patients are in competitive sports. So they'll get up 7 o'clock in the morning and it's dancing, it's hockey, it's all these things.
Yes.
And then, so that is... So those teenagers never have that opportunity to catch up on their sleep. It affects their grades, it affects their mood, and especially when you go through all these hormonal fluctuations.
Yes.
And now to go through it sleep deprived, you're really putting your kid, or your kid is putting themselves at a big disadvantage.
I agree.
But it's critical to never barge into your child's room and say, "Oh, it's bedtime, lights off." To be very cognizant of how you handle it with your teenager.
Yes.
You have to really come from a different angle. First, establish that relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
So that your child can talk to you. That your child have that buy-in and help your child recognize that handling these situations with your friends are harder when you sleep deprived. Studying for these exams are harder. So how can I help you? How can I support you? So your child really has to get to that point where your child wants to sleep better. And then once your child comes, then you can have that discussion about no energy drinks, no blue lights, no cell phone in the room. But it has to come from your child. It's not you policing.
No.
It's not you checking, whether they played games or not.
No, for sure.
Not at all.
I think one of the big things, and it's a huge thing that we talk about a lot, especially in our networking events and talking with women and with teenagers, is anxiety. And I think that if your kid or if you are anxious,
for sure.
if you want to really trigger that, try take away sleep, right? So it's a huge trigger. Sleep is so vital for everything. So
and you're right, you do increase anxiety and depression by being sleep deprived. So that's the first way to address it.
No, absolutely. Awesome.
And then for a teenager as well, if they typically sleep from 3 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the morning, so not to say 10 o'clock is lights out. So to first just go with a half an hour increment to get it a little bit earlier, a little bit.
That's doable, right? Instead of...
Yes. And then there's always that golden opportunity when sleep comes at its easiest. And to find out that golden opportunity and to make sure that you're in bed and that you're ready for it to fall asleep.
Yes.
Not to be doing other things, not to be on your cell phone, but to be ready for when your body is ready to sleep.
Makes complete sense.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Please enter all your questions below. We're going to answer your questions in following Q&A sessions. And for everyone who watched to the end, the coupon code for my book, Balance Your Hormones Naturally, is Balance 2022. So you can enter that in capital, Balance 2022. The link is in the description below. I'd really love for you to download that book. And we'll go through all the different things how you can balance your hormones naturally. Thank you so much, Andrea, for spending time with me.
Anytime.
Please like this video and send it to someone who will find benefit from sleeping better.
Yeah.